Okay, this is Dr. Saul Adoni. That's SOLADONI.com. You can go to my website. I've written over 100 books, and one of my big books years ago was The Hologram Universe. Theory that the universe is a super AI computer. Well, we now have the proof, people, that not only is our universe a computer, but it's been hacked. Now on my site, you can see my lead story right now is proof the universe is an AI computer. When you click that, you're going to end up on my new site called Holographic Universes by Dr. Saul Adoni. Now, this site has a whole bunch of proofs about what is going on, that something is called the Mandela effect. Now, a few days ago when I was first exposed to this, I kind of laughed. Then I found out that what they were saying is actually how a lot of people remember things, which doesn't match up with my reality. So that's why I started looking more into all the other claims, and sure enough, there's thousands of these effects, and when you start analyzing them from a neutral position, you're going to find out that almost everything you remember is wrong. History, laws of physics, world maps, geography, and I've studied all this stuff. I got 7 doctorates. I've written books with all kinds of maps in them, and scriptures have been changed, and I've written a lot of books about religion and what these verses really meant. So I'm not your typical person writing about the Mandela effect, because in my reality, what we know about Mandela now in this reality matches up with my own experiences about him, but it doesn't match what other people remember. When I was laughing about this effect with someone I know in a restaurant near me, someone overheard me, and literally he was very upset because he insisted that Mandela died in the 80s in prison and was a terrorist, and he got killed in jail. That's his reality, and he was ready to fight over it, because I was telling everybody that Mandela got released from prison and apartheid fell, and he became this great Nobel Prize winner for peace and president of South Africa, and he only died a few years ago. Big state funeral, all the heads of state flew there. I even think Obama went there. And that is not his reality. His reality is Mandela was a terrorist and died in jail in the 80s. So that's when I started looking at this, and people, this is a real thing. It shouldn't be called the Mandela effect, because all it is basically proof that my hologram universe theory that I theorized over 40 years ago, that we're inside a computer, is absolutely true. And the proof is that the computer got hacked. And I'm going to explain to you scientifically how all these Mandela effects are happening, and there's thousands of them. So just do the research on Mandela effect and start looking at this stuff, and your memories aren't wrong, people. Okay, the reality that you experienced doesn't exist here. That's why everything's been changed around. Scripture that on your heart has been changed. Scientific equations, measurements, speed of light, stuff. That stuff's all been changed. Constellations and the stars, historical events. So I'm going to read a little bit about what's on the site. And I'm going to be doing a lot of videos about this, showing in depth, some of these claims that I'm making right now. So stay tuned to my video channel. This is a big deal, people. It's an awakening thing. People are going to find out, yeah, we're in the Matrix, and we got proof now it's been hacked. All the famous movie lines you remember them right, but in this universe, they're all wrong. Songs completely altered that we all know, iconic songs, famous lines in movies, actors' names, actors who died or now are alive. I mean, this thing is huge, and it's a reality awakening, and humanity's going to find out everything you thought you knew is wrong. And the Matrix movie, Morpheus says to Neo, hey, what if I told you everything was a lie? Similar, it's like, anyway, he doesn't say anything like that in the Matrix in this reality. Okay? So, going back here, I'm going to give you scientific proof that the Mandela effect is real and how it was done. Anyway, I've authored the hologram universe theory over 40 years ago. It's been in book form, and for, you know, layman's persons to understand, you click the link. This is the book that's ancient. You know, it's over 10 years old, and the theory is 40 years old. So that's my hologram universe. Yeah. Okay. I wrote a book about this stuff, and I actually have a think tank called Helix Q. Okay, it's all about artificial intelligence and designing, you know, the first 6 to 10 dimensional computer. So, you know, I'm involved in the AI stuff, people. So that's why, you know, like I'm saying, you know, my level of knowledge goes way beyond anybody that's doing anything about this Mandela effect. It's connected to AI computers, and it's been hacked. And all these changes of the material universe is proof, because our energy, our consciousness, isn't kept in the same, you know, box. It's separate from where the physical reality is. Okay, so that's why you can change the illusion, the reality, but our energy, our consciousness wasn't hacked. So now our memories are right, even though our memories aren't synced up to our current reality. So we've been hacked, people, and that's what I'm going to prove to you. Okay, so going back here to the holographic universe, plural, holographic universes. Okay, that's the site.com. So holographicuniverses.com. Basically, we're living inside an AI computer. So our physical reality is nothing but computer code. And computer code can, you know, be easily changed. The people that have access to the code, they can make it do whatever they want. They can change the laws of physics. They can change size of planets. They can shift continents around, as they've done. So, you know, a lot of people are waking up and becoming aware that our reality recently had a major change or a shift. It's not parallel universe. It's not all the crap they're talking about. It's not CERN. This was a hack. Okay, and it was done exactly as a hacker would hit a program, by dropping an S here, adding an S here, doubling a letter there. I mean, it's just like a computer virus. That's exactly what this hack is. So anyway, that's why so many are remembering now a past that's vastly different from our reality here. A lot of it's little things. Famous brand names, famous movie lines, famous people's names, celebrities, you know, that you thought were dead that are now alive. So that's this reality, people. Your memories are correct, but the reality has been shifted. Now, some of these are major changes. Okay? Major changes to geography. Just look at a world map. Google world map, and the first thing you're going to notice, people, there's no more North Pole. Okay? So if you're from the universe that I'm from, okay, you're going to remember looking at world maps. There was always a patch of white at the top where the North Pole was. They don't put that on these maps here. It's gone. Now they show Greenland as this mega continent, 3 times the size of the USA. And Iceland is this little tiny island. So the idea of white at the top of a world map doesn't exist here, people. That's the first thing that woke me up. And then I noticed South America is really close to Africa now. In my reality, I remember it being about 3,000 miles away, almost as far as, you know, the eastern seaboard of Americas from Europe. That was basically how far, you know, South America was from Africa. No more, people. It's like 1,500 miles. And you're going to find out Australia moved way north. It used to be hundreds of miles away from everything. It was down under, you know, isolated. The Aborigines were there, and that's why, you know, they were primitives. Because no one could get to them easy to change them. Well, you could swim there now. It's 2 miles from New Guinea. Not that far from Indonesia. You look at Europe, okay, and the boot Italy is still there, and the soccer ball Sicily, it's still an island, but you could swim across the little sea that separates it. It's 1.5 miles from Sicily to Italy. People, this wasn't our reality. Look at how big Mongolia is now on a world map. Mongolia was almost, you know, nothing before. Now it's huge, almost as big as China. Okay, so a lot of stuff has changed geographically. And if you analyze maps like I did, because I'm always writing about maps and ancient history and how monuments line up and stuff, like all that stuff's been changed. Now, big shock, people, I've written a ton of books about religion, all religions, and a lot about Christianity and how it's been misinterpreted, blah, 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 blah. So I know Scripture. I've studied most of the passages in multiple languages, from their original, Hebrew to original Greek, into how it eventually ended up in Latin, and then how it went into English. And I've studied Arabic for, the Quran, and, how to learn Sanskrit, and study the Hindu writings and, Sumerian texts. I learned linear A and B so I can do my own translations. I learned hieroglyphics for, religious texts out of, very educated people. I got 7 honorary doctorates. My IQ's off the charts. So, I'm telling you, this stuff has happened. Now, besides geography, there's changes now to physics. You can look up the Schumann resonance. It's the ELF, the extremely low frequency measurement of the Earth. Normally, it's pretty constant since we discovered it. 7.83 on the Earth, and last year they were saying it doubled up to the 16 range, and now it's doubled again up to the 32 range, and it's spiking in the 60 to 90 range. Now, the constant is still 7.83, but it's undergoing a drastic change, and the ELF affects your brain waves. So this ELF effect might be connected to how the hack was done. Okay, that they can manipulate stuff here so easily. ELF effect, elfeffect.com, that's another one of my sites that I created for what's going on right now. So you might want to check that out too. People are saying they've noticed changes in the constellations. I noticed a change in the measurement of the circumference of the Earth. I've done formulas based on the circumference of the Earth. You read my books and I have that number in there. It's embedded in my brain. It's still in my books. 24,902. It's now 24,901. So the Earth shrunk a mile. No big deal, you might say, but guess what, man? The Earth is pretty mature. It shouldn't be shrinking. And it's a mile less in circumference now around the equator. Now, the only thing to explain this and all the residual effects, and what a residual effect is, when you can still search around and you see that people are remembering our old reality. That's a residual effect. So, like when you start looking at Bible verses, you can see people with tattoos. Matthew 7:1. Judge not, lest thee shall be judged. That's what's tattooed on a lot of people's arms, especially criminals. That they don't want anybody judging them. Hey, judge not, lest ye be judged. So there's all kinds of articles, pastors doing writings about this. So the title of the article is "Judge not, lest ye be judged," and then when they quote King James in the article, it's been changed. Because the reality is that verse doesn't say that anymore, people. So yes, it used to say what people remember, but the reality is it's been altered. Now, if you're a Christian and you remember the Lord's Prayer, Our Father art in heaven, before you do anything else, just write it down from your memory, because you probably said it a billion times, so it's inscribed on your heart. So write down what you know is your Our Father prayer, and then go to the Bible and look it up. 2 places that it's there. Nothing like what you remember. So the question is, how is your prayer that you remember, that you memorize, it's inscribed, been completely altered? A lot of other stuff in the scriptures has been altered. Famous saying about Jesus going in the temple, overturning the tables, calling it a temple of the den of thieves. No more. Now he calls it the temple of merchandise. Merchandise, people. It's in the story now. Isaiah, the Old Testament, it's affected too. Big story. How God was so powerful. God was going to tame the most ferocious animal in his kingdom, the lion, and force it to become friends in peace and lay down with the lambs. So the lion and the lamb is a very famous part of the Old Testament. And if you read the passages about it in Isaiah, you're going to see the lion no longer is laying with the lamb. It's now a wolf. The wolf. So, people, this is real. The scriptures were hacked. Geography's been hacked. This whole reality has been hacked. And the only thing that makes sense is it's because the hologram universe theory is correct. Now, there's a lot more easier things to see in this hack. So I'm going to talk about some of the more common things you're probably aware of. Brand names. Tons of brand names. If you remember, there's a product, an adult diaper for older people. Older people wear what people? They wear Depends. The S has been hacked. It is now they wear a Depend. Everybody that's from my universe grew up with Jiffy peanut butter. It's not Jiffy here, it's Jif. And I can talk about brand after brand after brand, people. Logos, corporate logos, all been manipulated here. They're nothing like we remember them. Especially car logos. The Ford, take a look at that Ford logo. First, before you do it, remember the Ford logo in your brain. And then look at this thing that's here with the curly Q on the dash on the F. Oh my God. I've never seen that before. Famous lines in movies, people. There's so many of them. It's hard to even begin to pick out what's the best one. One of the better ones is something everyone knows as a kid. Snow White. Go look at the original Snow White now. The evil queen goes up to the mirror. We all know what the queen says to the mirror on the wall. Okay? So, mirror, mirror on the wall. That's correct. Yet in this reality, it's wrong. It's magic mirror on the wall. Now, people are going to say, oh, we remember. Bullshit. Our memories are right. The reality here is wrong. It's been hacked. The scriptures we learned are right. They've been hacked here. Famous movie lines. Again, we all remember the Terminator. The tagline for Arnold Schwarzenegger is his heavy accent saying, "I'll be back." It's been on t-shirts. I'll be back. Look at Terminator in this reality. He says it in the best English I've ever heard Arnold speaking. I'll be back. No, I'll be back. All the lines, iconic lines that we know were in these movies are gone. TV shows. Stuff we know people used to say, completely altered here. Book titles, completely altered. People, this is real. It actually happened. You want to be a denier? Go ahead, deny it. Anyway, I'll be doing a whole bunch of more elaborate videos down the road. I just wanted to touch base that, you know, this is going to be the hub for this concept for me. I wrote Hologram Universe years ago. This is now the hub for my work on this. Holographic plural. And on the site, you'll see here, there's this little thing called hacks. Right now, there's like 5 or 6 different types of concepts. World maps, brands, history, scripture, science. It's going to be about 12 different categories. So you're going to see all the songs. Oh, another great one. Everybody who likes Queen remembers We Are the Champions. We Are the Champions, an iconic rock song. We are the champions. We are the champions of the world. The last line doesn't exist. It's erased here. Now, How could this happen in a hack? Real simple. Our consciousness is electrical energy, so that's kept in another type of supercomputer. And that wasn't hacked. What was hacked is the AI computer running the reality here, the illusion, the material world. So when we die, we don't have electrical energy in our body, or we're brain dead. That goes to another reality, another dimension. Okay? But while we're in this dimension, this reality, we're moving around in something that's programmed. It's an illusion. The laws are created so you can change everything. You can change the speed of light. What do you want the speed of light to be this minute? How about next hour? How about next week? It's just code. The laws of physics are codes. It's all math. It's all simple things, and you can change it if you're the programmer. Now, imagine a program creates a book. Now, we have a book in the computer. Now you stack 5 million books on top of it, all the same from that one book. The way the computer works is we control the code for the first book. We make a change in that first book that's holding up the 10 million above it. It's like a domino effect. They all sync to whatever is in that first book. That's how books that have been on shelves for hundreds of years all have been changed, because in this reality they never had the things we remember. The reality has been altered due to a hack. Matrix. I did books where I mentioned how it's barely used in the Bible. It's only used a couple times, and it means a womb, and the womb was what the movie was all about. The aliens kept the humans in a synthetic womb for their energy. So that's why it was called the Matrix. It wasn't about a computer's a matrix. No. Okay, that's an ancient Old English word for a womb. Well, guess what, people? Matrix is now like dozens of times in the Bible. It's been manipulated. So we're being told Matrix. Okay? It's been hacked. We're inside an illusion. It's time to wake up. We have to basically redefine ourselves as humans now that we understand we're in an illusion. Anyway, people, this is Dr. Adoni. This is my book, Holographic Universes, that I have on this subject. It's being written as I'm speaking. It'll be done a few weeks down the road. So, you know, you can go and order this book. It's a pre-order. And it's going to also have my other book, Hologram Universe, in it. So part 2 of the book is already written. It's old. The whole part 1 is going to be about this hologram universe effect, holographic universe effect, elf effect, what people are calling Mandela. People, it's real. It really happened. Your memories are right. Now, granted, some of these things might be a false memory, because when you're playing with brand names, it's real easy to, you know, trick yourself. But when you're talking about scripture that is iconic, and iconic songs and iconic movies, we don't all remember the wrong thing. Okay? It's been hacked. Most of our memories were real. That was our reality, and it's not that reality today, people. So go pre-order my book and keep coming back to this site. I'll be putting new articles up all the time. I'll be making a lot of videos. Anyway, people, share this video. Get the word out. We've been hacked. And pastors are trying to cover it up. They're saying, no, the scripture's always been like that. Yeah, well, they look at a book. It's always been that way in this reality. But our memories have the truth. It's not what's in the books. What's in our heart and in our minds that we know is right. So that's what's going on here, people. When a pastor tells you, judge not, lest ye be judged, it's in the 1611 original King James, he's lying. You can go get a scan of that verse. They're all over the place. I have an original book in my library. Okay? It's identical to what's in all the King James. It has nothing to do with judge not lest thee be judged. It doesn't say that now. The book was hacked going back to the beginning of when it was written. Very easy to do in an AI computer universe. Alright people, it's Dr. Adoni. Go visit my other site. I got over 100 books I've written over the years about everything from religions to scientific formulas to prophecies of Nostradamus, and I'm famous for my own psychic writings. You can learn about astral projection and out-of-body experiences, how to do meditation, stuff like that. A lot of great information in my work. So I got 100 books for you. You can spend the rest of your life just reading about my wisdom. And a lot of it's spiritual nature. And we're spiritual beings. That's why our memories weren't hacked. Our spirit's intact. It's just this illusion has been hacked. So it's not about being involved in the illusion and worrying about material crap from this illusion. It's about your soul and your spirit and doing good things. That's what you carry with you. So spread this video, people. And please come back and check it. I'll be doing a lot of videos about this. So there's like 11, 12 different categories that I want to focus on. From famous songs to famous books to scripture to science to history. Oh, history, here's another great one. We all remember Pearl Harbor. America got attacked. Pearl Harbor's an island. It's not mainland USA. We all grew up with America mainland was never attacked in World War II. People, that's not the history here. Japan struck mainland USA 5 times in this reality. Their subs reached the West Coast. They took out refineries, a naval base, tax cities. Come on, people. 5 times the USA got struck in this reality. Mainland USA. Now you want to tell me that's your history? Not my history. So people, everything's been altered here. There's thousands of these things if you just look. And don't believe anybody that says, oh, hologram, we're not in reality is not what everyone thought it was. So we're being awakened, and it's how we move forward from this point in time. What we do as a race and as a group and a consciousness. So spread this video and let's wake everybody up. Okay, we got a lot of issues here on this planet. Nukes, I've been yelling about nukes for 20 years. I formed the GREPA plan, you know, the Global Renewable Energy Agreement. So there's a lot of good ideas I've had that, you know, basically humanity was ignoring. Now what I say is going to become very important. So yeah, I'm going to lead you into the future where we have respect for each other and respect for our planet, and we stop following the greed of the material illusion. It's about, you know, making your soul right, making your spirit right, making everybody happy, doing the right thing, not just for yourself, but everything that's around you, putting out good vibes. It's Dr. Adoni. Have a fantastic day.